All right, we're recording now, and welcome everybody, and welcome to this coffee talk. This particular coffee talk is done on June 2nd, 2020. And I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the slides I prepared. And here it is. So the topic for today: in a world filled with uncertainty and drama, there's home. Yeah, have you heard it before where people say, my home is an oasis, my bedroom is an oasis? You know, an oasis is a place that you go. It's like a sheltered place. We really should look up the word. I like looking up words. Let me see, wait a minute. Define oasis. I have to do it again. I like doing this because sometimes when you find like the meaning of a word, like we know the meaning of the word, oh yeah, so an oasis, right? Oh yeah, it's overwhelm. But then we look up the word, we really can clearly understand what that means to us. In other languages, they have many different words for the same word. So if you say love, and we say, I love my coffee, it's a different love than I love God or I love my child. It's a different word. They have a completely different word for it. In the English language, we generalize a lot of things, and we'll say, I love that. And then we have to decipher, what does she actually mean by that love, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna do this oasis thing. Define oasis. Nope, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna start all over again. All right, I'm going to share my screen. And here it is. And welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here for this coffee talk. The coffee talk topic for today is, in a world filled with uncertainty and drama, there's home. Now, the reason that I'm doing this particular coffee talk at this time is because our world is going through some sort of a process, a purging process. I don't know what to call it, but it hasn't been easy. We've had a pandemic that has thrown the entire globe into a stressful state. And then after that, here in the United States, we've had a brutal murder, police brutality issue with a man who was killed. And now there are riots. There's protests and there's riots. And I'm not here to talk about what's going on in the world. I'm here to talk about the fact that there is lots of things outside our home that we have zero control over, and it affects us. It affects the entire world, what goes on outside our home. But the thing about what happens inside our home is this: each and every home is a representation of the world. If inside our home is a place of peace, a place of joy, a place of agreement, unity, love, that's what will be on the outside of our home. But guess what? We don't live in that kind of world. We live in a world where you just don't know. In a perfect world, everybody's homes would be that, and then everybody's home outside would be that. But for us to not realize how vitally important it is to keep home sacred, pure, good, lovely, peaceful, an oasis, for us to not realize how vitally important that job is, not just to me and you, but to the entire world, we got to wake up and realize it really is that important. It really is that important. Now, I'm going to stop share for a second because I need to look at a definition, okay? The definition of oasis, all right? Because that's what we want our home to be. We want our home to be an oasis, a place we can go to get recharged, to get blessed, to get love, to give love. And listen, even if you live alone, okay? Don't be like, oh yeah, but I don't have any family to get and give love to. Please, please don't go there. I've lived alone. I've lived alone for, I don't know, I guess it wasn't that long. 2 years, I guess. In the grand scheme of things, I guess 2 years is not a long time. But home is as important if you live alone or if you don't. If you have a family or if you don't. If you own a pet or if you don't. Home is important. Definition of oasis: something serving as a refuge, relief, or a pleasant change from what is usual, annoying, or difficult, etc. A calm and pleasant place in the middle of somewhere busy and unpleasant. That's your goal. That's what you want to create at home. This is so much more than, and I know you know it. I know you do. I know you know it. I know you didn't say, you know what? I really don't like that my house doesn't look beautiful for friends and relatives, although that's part of it. I really want my house to look nice so that if Better Homes and Gardens ever wants to come and take some photo shoots, they'll be able to. I want my home to feel nice because I really want to find my pens when I want them, although that is part of it. The reason we want home to be decluttered and clean and ordered is that reason. We want a place to feel happy walking in. We're paying. I don't care where you live, you're paying to live there, right? Taxes, mortgage, rent, whatever, right? We're paying to live there. If we went to a vacation spot and we walked in and it was in the state of your bedroom right now, what would you do? You'd call them up and say, are you freaking kidding me? Can somebody come in here? Get me a different room, right? Why don't we call ourselves up and say, are you freaking kidding me, Kathy? Are you freaking kidding me, Margot? What are you doing here? I want a different room, right? The beauty is we can have a different room. What goes on out there in the world is something we can't control. We can pray. We can do as much as we can to help in any way that we can, like volunteering to be a big brother or a big sister. Yeah, that makes a difference in the world. You know, anything that you want to think of that you might be able to give in some way out there in the world, it'll make a difference. But it's nothing that we can control. There's a verse in the Bible that Jesus said, in the world you will have tribulation, but be of good courage. I have overcome the world, he said, right? So nowhere was it promised that life was going to be a bowl of cherries, you know, like a wonderful array of perfectness. It ain't happening. But what do we have control of inside of our front door? And what are we doing to allow ourselves to have what it is that we want? You know, sometimes we think, oh, it doesn't really matter. So what? I could do that later. You know, when we get the why we want to do something, holy mackerel, can we make it happen when we have the why? Why do I want this? Years ago, I read a book called The Master Key, it was called. And it was about manifesting. It was written in the late 1800s, I believe. I watched the movie The Secret, read the book. And in the book, she said that she read The Master Key and it's what led her to do that whole secret thing. So I said, I want to read The Master Key. So I got the book. And in the first chapter, he said, one of the things you need to do, I forget the author, one of the things you need to do is meditate. You need to quiet your mind and sit still. Start with 1 minute. I couldn't do it for my life. I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm like sitting there trying to be quiet. My mind's going, oh, what did he say to me yesterday? What was I supposed to do the other day? Oh my God, I forgot about that. You know, all of this stuff. And I'm like, wait, no, stop. You have to be quiet. You have to be quiet. Two things were missing there. One, how and what? What does it mean to be quiet? What does it mean to meditate? How? And two, why? Why was I doing it? So after I couldn't get through that, I never even finished reading the book because I thought, well, if I can't get past the first chapter, what to do? Forget about it, right? Then years later, find out, I read a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. And he really gets into all of the details about meditation. It's very scientific. And I understood, oh, that's what I'm doing? And that's why I'm doing it? Now, all of a sudden, what was difficult before becomes easy. And that's what my heart is in this particular coffee talk for you, is to give you more of a why than I just don't want to live this way anymore, or I want to be able to have company over. I mean, those two things are really big, right? But they aren't something that's going to keep you on the road for as long as you need to be on the road to get it all done. We need something bigger than that. Sometimes it has to be like a less than noble thing. Like, say you say, I'd like to lose weight so that I could feel healthy and live long so I can be around and help my grandchildren or live to see my grandchildren. Like, yeah, it sounds really noble. I want to be healthy so I can feel good, right? It sounds noble and all of that. Doesn't give us a push. It's just like the same thing when we say, I want my house to be clean and I want to do it. And then suddenly somebody calls and says they're coming over. Your why just got really big and you just got some real energy to do it because there was a different set of thoughts that led you to action, right? So I'm going to do the share screen again because I want to get back on track. So back to, in a world filled with uncertainty and drama, there's home. And what we want is ultimately to have an oasis, a place we can go, something we have control over. Your big why for getting rid of all that stuff and for doing the work and putting in the time when the times get tougher, because they're going to get tougher. Yeah, it's not an easy trip in the beginning, but it becomes easy as you go. So why do you want the house to be cleaned up, to be decluttered? So that you've got a place to go, so that you have a place that's a blessing to you and your family, so that you have a place to be that gives you peace, that you can now be a part of the solution. Because if each one of us takes home seriously, and when Joe Blow calls or Judy Jane calls and says, hey, I have this going on today, can you come? There's zero guilt in your heart when you say, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I have an appointment that I have to keep. And you know how I say sometimes, don't say why. You don't have to say why. If you knew in your heart that what you're doing at home was extremely important, if you knew that, then when Judy Jane or Joe Blow calls and says, I got something to do, will you, or I need you for something, can you help me? You won't have to have that guilty feeling of saying, no, I have a course that I'm taking and I decided that I have to use this time for it. Or no, I'm dejunking today. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Or even, no, I've decided that on this day, I'm using it to rest. I'm just going to stay home and relax today. I need it. Instead of having that guilt there, if you kept this why it's so important, why it's such a big deal, why it means so much to you, to have a place to go when life on the inside, on the outside of our homes has become so toxic and volatile that you feel like you just can't get out of bed in the morning. You want that bed to be a place that you're happy to be in. You want that home to be a space that you've loved yourself in. And when I was talking about before, like, well, what if you live alone? Do I have to I don't care that much. It's only me. It's the way we treat our homes. It's a representation of the love that we have for ourselves. We need to love ourselves. Did you know it was a commandment to love yourself? It says, love your brother as you love yourself. It's a commandment. So we need to love ourselves. It's important. So I think I was going somewhere else with that, but I lost it. So I'll just move on to my next slide. So get your why and hold on to it. All right. No matter if you're just getting started, your why is pretty big. Okay. I'm here to tell you, you need to hold on to that why. You need to keep that why like it's a treasure, like it's really valuable, like you have to guard it. There's another verse in the Bible that says, it's in Jude. Can I look it up for a second? It's in Jude. I wish I had my Bible here. It says that we're to be keepers at home, right? Now, unfortunately, the world has twisted that freaking section of the Bible to make it look like housework and being a homemaker. They've twisted it to be you're a housekeeper. And, you Google housekeeper and you know what you find? People with mops, women with mops and brooms and aerosol cans and spray cleaners and rags. That's what you get. That word keeper is guardian. That's what it means. It's a guardian. You are to be the guardian at home, not a housekeeper, right? Things have been distorted as time goes. It's our job to unravel those distortions, because otherwise, what are we? We're living in default mode. We're not living on purpose. We're living as if somebody else wrote our book and we're just playing along in the script that they have written for us. We don't need to do that, right? It's your life. It's your book. You write the words. You write the script in your life. So when society has deemed housekeeping to be mundane and worthless and valueless, You can dig deep a little bit and say, I don't have to believe what the world says. Another verse says that the world is enmity against God. It's like this, right? It doesn't say that God doesn't love the world. He sure does, right? But it has weeds in it, doesn't it? It has weeds in it. There's good, there's not so good. We need to be responsible. We need to be responsible for our own lives, for our own walk, and take a look and say, wait a minute, do I have to believe that that housekeeping is valueless work and that it's not important? The Bible says that it is important. I mean, if you don't believe the Bible, that's fine, but there are scriptural things that have been around for a long time. There's a story, a Buddhist story that I value immensely. Am I a Buddhist? No. But am I going to like disregard it? Of course not. It's wisdom, right? So whether you believe the Bible or you're not, whether you're Christian or whatever you are, it doesn't matter. All right. So I'm not trying to push my religion on you at all, but this is what I've got in me. So this is what I give. You can take what you like and leave the rest, or you can do what I do and not shun anything if it gives value to me, if it is something that can offer wisdom in my life. So there's this one thing that the Bible says, I think pretty sure it's in not Jude. Anyway, it's one of the last books in the New Testament, all right? It talks about being keepers at home, and it says guardians of the house. You are to be a guardian of the house. That means that you watch what comes in. You watch what comes in. You say, oh no, I'm not bringing that crap in here. And then you watch what you have inside. Oh no, we're not keeping that broken thing. That broken thing has energy. I'm a child of God. I am a sanctioned being. I am royalty. Like, you know, I think about it as like, say, a Princess Diana, Princess Kate. I know Diana's passed away. Princess Kate, what's her daughter's name? Let's just say even Meghan Markle, right? Although I think she just announced her Princess Caroline. All right, all of these princesses, they live in a level of existence that is so elevated because they know their worth. They know what their value is. And there's certain things that are just not going to fly. That broken rocking chair that's been sitting in the corner of the living room, it's got to go. Whatever it is that you see on the road when you're driving around and you think it's great, make it be something that really blesses your life, not just something that's good. Oh, I can't see that, go to the dump. Give somebody else a chance to get that thing. So I know I went off on a rabbit trail there. If you're brand new here, then you have your why. Hold on to it, because most likely you've hit bottom and that's why you came. If you're here and you've been here for a while, get your why back, okay? See your home as the oasis that you want it to be. See you as whoever it is that you are, not who you are because so-and-so said this is who you are, or the identity that you have had because, oh, well, I was a mom for a long time. So who were you before you were a mom? What if you don't have the children at home anymore? What if you wanted to, what if you had like that whole, you know, dream of what everybody says you need to do, grow up, go to school, get married, have the kids, live happily ever after? What if your happily ever after ended in divorce? What if you never got married and this is what you are? Redefine what that means. We don't have to think things are wrong and well, this is wrong because I'm not doing what I wanted to do. Please embrace who you are and how things are. So many times we are so stuck in the way things should be that we waste our life trying to get what we don't even need. I think I'm on two topics there. Sorry about that. Okay, the next thing. Get your why and held onto it. I have that twice. Why, I don't know. All right, now this slide. There's nothing on that side, all right? Nothing on that side. What do you want your life to be like at home? Whatever it is that you want your life to be like at home, you can do it. You can make that happen for you. Find some images that inspire you. I'm going to stop the share a second and see if I could find something I was looking at before. Share my screen. All right. Now, this is what I want to do, and I'm hoping that you can get some inspiration. All right. Now, I'm here because these are free images, and I was looking at them before, and it'll be easy for me to find. Now, you can't use images from the internet that are not free, you know, posting them or anything like that, but you can use them to encourage yourself. It's not illegal to do that. So if you even do a Pinterest board, and you guys know what Pinterest is, it's kind of a cute, fun little thing. If you do a Pinterest board and you call it My Inspiration, and you use that board to keep that why alive for you so that you could hear, like, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to I'm going to go to photos there, and I'm going to do living room. No, wait, let's do kitchen. Kitchen. Okay, kitchen. So I'm going to drag in a kitchen. All right, see that kitchen, right? Does that inspire you? Use it. See this kitchen? Does this inspire you? Use it. If you want, if you can go on, how's that? Like what can give you some kind of, see, I'm just dragging these in there. What can give you some kind of button to press on the inside of you that helps you to feel like, I want to do this. This is exciting. When your sister calls and says, can you do this with me? You will be absolutely, positively convicted in saying, sorry, I can't, working on the house today. Sorry, I can't, I'm taking a course. I'm taking a course, I'm getting organized. I'm getting my life together. Do you see the different energy in there? Do you see how sometimes we feel like, oh no, but what do I do? You know, like, oh, how can I even say, I can't go. I could do it later. Can't I do it later? See what I mean? When you get that why, where you're like, hey, hell no, this is what I'm doing. And so here's a little tip with the finding of pictures, all right? With the finding of pictures, like this one that I dragged in there just now, it gives me joy, right? That picture for some reason makes me happy. You find the one that makes you happy, all right? You find, let's see, well, like say this one's like, oh my God, that doesn't make me happy. So use that one. But if you're somebody's like, oh my God, I love that streamlined look and that fresh and clean, use that one, right? Take a little bit of time for yourself to do this. Let me put in bedroom. Bedroom is a good one. What was that about? Maybe I'm being too loud for him. All right, so here. Let me do delete so that I can drag in a big one. All right, so there's a bedroom. See that bedroom? Does that bring you joy? Does this one bring you joy? Does this one bring you joy? Find one that makes you happy, right? Get it in a Pinterest board, even if it's not something you could ever possibly do in your house. Oh, I love that one. Even if it's not something you could do in your house. But do you know how it feels when you, and I know you do, have you ever gone to somebody's house for like a holiday celebration or just a visit or something, and their home is so purposeful? Everything, maybe it might not even be your taste, but everything that they have is exactly what they love, and it's all in a beautiful place, and you know, all placed in the spaces, and it feels so good to be in there. Even if it's not what you want, you leave that house wanting to do something at home. That's what I'm getting at here. So that you can get on this journey, not feeling like what a shame this is, not or like what a drudgery this is, not feeling like I can't believe I have to do this, but how freaking wonderful that I get to do this and that I've found the how. Because remember before, I'm gonna stop screen share for a second. Remember before when I said with the meditation thing, where I said there was, you know, why am I doing this meditation? And I learned about why I was doing it through an author that I found, Joe Dispenza, you know, whatever else he is, quantum physicist. And then the other thing was the how. I needed the how too. I had to discover, well, how do you meditate? I used to think it was a complete like emptying of the mind. And I found out that isn't true. That's not what it is. If you're trying to do something and you don't know how, you're not going to succeed. Like, gee, I'd really love to learn Italian. Oh, gee, I really like to learn Italian, the Italian language. Gee, I wonder what to do. All right, maybe if I say some words that sound like they're Italian, like, yo, bellissimo, ungaz, what's the matter you? That ain't how, right? You're not going to succeed. You got to find the how. You guys, you found the how. What you're in is incredibly valuable. I learned something from a book I read in 1989 called Sidetracked Home Executives. I practiced what I learned in it. And as time went by, I've adapted what I learned to fit how life changed. And I, for some reason, was incredibly faithful to it. And I'm offering it to you on a silver platter. This system works. You have the how. You have the instructor. And you grab your why and you stick to that why. You keep this day in your mind of what's going on out there in the world. And keep that in the back of your mind as you go. This, you know what they say, this too shall pass. There's going to be peace again outside. There's going to be, as time goes by, an ebb and flow of chaos and order out there in the world. It's going to go by. I'm not saying to hold on to the hate, the anger, the injustice, the racism, the everything, the evil. I'm not saying hold on to that. I'm saying be as wise as what is it? Be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. Be wise. Know what's going on. Know that, yeah, maybe in the times of peace and joy and harmony that you find in the world in periods of time, it might be that during then you let go a little bit about how important it is to have home. I swear I'm so emotional about this. To have home be that place you can go to when you need it, when you need to go somewhere, because there's so much crap going on out there. Because when the time comes that everything is good, it's just like when you want to lose weight or something, or you want something and then you've achieved it. It's so easy to backslide and to say, you know, oh, you know, if you don't make it a way of life, if you don't make it a way of life, if we say the end is it, and then when I'm there, I've arrived. It's not true. It's a way of life. God, one time when I was walking, I was really, really faithful. I was taking care of myself. I had been studying the word for many years. I started doing that during a time when life sucked for me, when I was only 18, married to an alcoholic, living in absolute poverty. It was bad, right? My family didn't live that way. So I was in a lot of shame, and I didn't let anybody know that I lived that way. So I pretended everything was all right, but it wasn't. I took 100 pennies one time to the store to buy something to eat. That's how bad it was, right? He was a real asshole. I mean, he's, you know, alcoholics. I mean, as a real person, he's an amazing person, right? I'm actually with him now. But I mean, at the time, he was a out and out drunk. You know, they're not who they are. They're not who they are in real life. They're who they are in that bottle, right? And so he was only 21 years old. He used to leave me alone for days at a time with no money and no food, right? So yeah, and you're like, you're still with him? Anyway, it was a long journey. So wait, so here's my point. My whole point to that, I swear to God, I did have a point. Oh, here's my point. Back then is when I started searching through the Bible for answers, because I said, there is a point. And I just wanted you to know where I was when that started, all right? So I was searching then. I found a verse in the Bible that said that God is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. I looked up the word diligent. Even back then, I was into like looking up definitions, looked up the word diligent. I understood what it meant. I'm going to do that. I called myself a diligent seeker forever. In my mind, I am a diligent seeker. That's what I am. And so I did that, right? So now, fast forward maybe like 20 some odd years, maybe like 26 years, because it was just about the time of my divorce. I was on another quest of the diligent seeking thing. Not that it ever ended, but it had its valleys and peaks and all of that. And so I'm walking 3 miles a day. I would walk every day. And I would go out and I'd walk. I mean, I said 5 miles because sometimes I would do that, but my general rule was 3 miles a day every morning. And I would walk and I'm yelling at God. I'm saying, you know, I don't get this. This is ridiculous. You know, I've been seeking you out for I don't know how long, right? I probably didn't know how long, and I probably told him exactly. I don't remember exactly, but you know, we get into details, don't we? So anyway, shut up, Kathy. So I'm saying, you know, I'm giving him all of these things. I'm bringing all these things. I've been doing this. I've done that. I've done this. This is ridiculous. I'm searching for answers. I need you to do something. Why aren't you doing? I was mad at it, right? And the little still voice I got in my heart, it was, and I can't say it in so many words because it came in a really short sentence, but I can't say it in the short sentence. In general, this is what it was. It was, if you were being really physically fit, like here I was walking every day and doing my diet and all of that. So basically what it was how many times have you stopped and started? How many times have you stopped and started? If you stop, can you lean on your laurels for all that you did before? Like, well, I ate for 27 years. I'm 59 years old. I've been eating every day. I'm not going to eat anymore. And they get mad at my body when it gets emaciated and say, I don't get it. What the heck? Why am I not healthy? Why am I losing so much weight? I've eaten for 59 years now. Tomorrow I'm going to be 59. I've eaten for 59 years now. You can't do that. You got to keep it going, right? And I did have a point to that. My point is, that it's got to be a way of life. It can't be something that I'm going to do this until it's done. and then think it's going to stay that way after I'm finished with it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my house together. I'm going to get my life together. I'm going to make my home be an oasis where I only have what I need, love, can use. And I'm going to feel amazing when I walk in my front door and I go in my bedroom. And I'm going to do it forever. I'm going to do it because it's a lifestyle for me. This is who I am. Like, make that be your identity now, not the identity of what you've been told your whole life. Oh, you're a slob. Oh, you forget your head if it wasn't attached to you. Oh, you're a loser. All the stuff we say to ourselves, right? I want you to love yourself just like you are. You really are an amazing person, exactly as you are. Don't think you're bad or wrong because you do something in some way. See the way you do it and then say, oh, that's the way I do that thing? Is there a way that that can work for me? Before we think we have to change anything about ourselves, see if the way we are is just perfect the way that is. And then all we have to do is tweak it a little bit. So I think I was all over the place today, and I really apologize for that. My whole heart for this coffee talk is to help you to see your home exactly what you want it to be, to make it be as important as it actually is, to never again minimize the value that you have, that your home has, and the work that you're doing to get it that way. You've got the what, you've got the how. It's an amazing thing. Praise God, you got that. Look at that, right? Get your why, right? Get your why and keep your why. And remember about the upheaval out there in the world. And even when everything is wonderful, you still are going to keep home because it's who you are now, because you realize how important it is. And no matter what goes on anywhere, you remain constant, right? We can change now. It doesn't have, we don't have to pay dues. We don't have to be like, oh yeah, but you know, I just got started. Oh my goodness. We can turn on a dime. You can turn on a dime. There's no rules. You know, don't you know somebody that's an amazing, amazing person, but they have such low self-esteem and low worth that you want to just shake them and you want to just say, it doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter. I mean, you might have children like this, right? Where it doesn't matter your past. It doesn't matter what you've done. This is what you have. You have all of this education, or you have all of this wisdom, or you have all of this whatever to do. And you want to say to them, just leave it behind. Take that baggage and leave it behind, because everything that you have in you, you can do. You can reach people because of your story that you think is a detriment to you. It's actually an asset, because there's somebody that you can reach that nobody else can, because of your drug addiction, because of your slobism, because of your whatever it was, because of your abusive nature, because of whatever it was that was in the red. Because of that, you have the ability to now be somebody that I know you could be, right? You have to say that to yourself. Whoever it is that you could think of that you could say that to, turn it around and say it to you. So no matter, and I'm saying it to you now, okay? No matter how long it's been, how horrible it is, how many people told you this, that, and the other thing about you, what you believe about yourself, this is what I'm telling you. You have everything you need in you. And the problems you had in the past are your gift to your present, because there's people out there that need you, and nobody can speak to them like anybody else but you. You are unique. You are unique to this world. There's somebody out there that needs what you have. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of life you live. I'm thinking of specific people here because I know so many of you so well. I don't care if it's a stranger in the street, a member of your church, or your child. And there's nobody else that could do it but you, because there's only one you. So that person that knows you, that knows of you, maybe is your kid, is your significant other, is your sister. I'm not going to be able to reach them like you can. They don't know me. They know you. They don't need me. They don't know me. They don't know anybody else on this call. They know you. You're the only one that can be the example, that can offer the oasis, that can share the gift that you have that God gave only to you in your unique way. So let's freaking do this thing, guys. All right, let's freaking do this thing. Stop playing games. All right? This is going to be a lot of editing because I was all over the place. MJ said, that's Joe. She said, Kathy, I love your all over the place talks from the heart. Never stop. You're a gift to us. Thank you. And then Elizabeth agreed. Thanks. I'm usually a little bit more scripted than this. So, but thank you. Audrey said, she agreed too. This coffee talk topic is exactly what I needed today. I was doing well with my home care for months, but I lost my why these past several weeks, and my house shows it. Yeah, so what? Pick up now, right? That's the beauty of this, right? You could pick up now. And believe me, I've done it for so many years. I've picked up again. I talk about how my organized friend, Lisa, she's come over when I was so organized. I've been there, done that. Everything was perfect. Things are great. She's come over where that kitchen looked like, a filing cabinet blew up and the dishes were filled with and the sink was filled with dishes. And she'd walk in and say, and just do her thing, because that's what those organized people do, right? They just, and then before you know it, everything's great and you're having tea at the kitchen table and you're like, how the heck did you do that, right? Because they are able to break things down, right? The beauty is this. We pick up like that when you have it together, when you put the system together. Now, what I just said about look like a filing cabinet blew up and the sink was filled with dishes, that happens to organized people. Don't think it doesn't. You just aren't there at that day. Okay, it happens to organized people. But that friend Lisa that I'm talking about, she would send me a picture every now and then with like a overdone sink of dishes and then dishes on the counter there, just to say, look, see, because she stayed in bed for a week. Like she was diagnosed with COVID recently. She's fine. Everything's fine. But, there's a roller coaster you go through, right? Everybody has this. Everybody lives life. The difference is that it doesn't take them over. It doesn't take them off their game. It doesn't change them. So in like 5 minutes, everything's all right again. And that's where we want to get to. All right. So what I'm saying, why I started saying that was, no matter what's happening, like just now, what you were saying, that Audrey, the house, like, the house shows it now. You've been doing this, right? You've been doing this. So just hit restart. It really is that easy. Get your daily routine back in shape. Do 15, 15, and 15. Rally the troops if you don't live alone, and then watch how easily things go right back. It snaps right back. I promise you that. Okay. All right. And with the whole story with the papers and the dishes, I had a daughter that lived with me who freaking would not do a dish to save your life. And I was so mad at her that I said, and eventually that's why she left. I'm like, I can't live with you and your dishes need to get out. And she did, she moved. And the other thing was, I was in the middle of the divorce at that time. And I kept getting papers in the mail, all those papers that come, and I didn't want to open them. And so they were all over the place. And I had them in neat little stacks, right? And then this one day when she came in, I dumped a box that I had them in because I was like, I don't want to look at these anymore. And I had to sort through them. There's a whole nother story to that. Okay, let's see, sorry. Joe said, this is amazing, Kathy. Please don't edit it extensively. I so need to hear this today. Please don't edit. I would love to hear everything. Joy said, it's what we all need. That's why we were inspired to be that's why you're inspired to be all over. All right, I guess I'll just believe that. Sometimes I would do that, and during a coffee talk, I would be beating myself up about how screwed up I was in it. And then when I would go to do the edit, I'm like, why did I think I was so screwed up? It's fine. All right, Gina said, hi, Kathy, I love your topics. The why is my motivation. I have 4 motivations for keeping it together. That's great. And we're in the insiders. We can do like a, maybe like a Pinterest kind of girls' night or something. So far we're all girls in here. So we can maybe do like a Pinterest kind of girls' night meeting and just hang out and create our Pinterest board and get the images that inspire us. Because I know a lot of us, or some of us, aren't really good technology wise. Before I started TTU online, I was horrible. All I knew was email. I didn't even know copy and paste. So I know that it could be like, I don't know how to do that. So maybe we could do something like that. Maybe in place of one coffee talk or something, we can, I don't know, or just do a special one, something like that. Kathy, I use the phrase, you're all over the place. Talk because that's what you called it. I didn't feel that way about it. Oh, I didn't think so, darling girl, Joe. I assumed the best. So I didn't read it that way at all in my heart. Jen said, love this, Kathy. You're welcome. Good. I'm glad. Gina said, thank you so much. I have a list next to my bed. I read it every day, like positive affirmations, and use that as my focus for the energy. That's great. Joyce said that this exact talk is what I need. Keep all the topics in this talk. Okay. What you said, I'll try. Oh, you'll do it. You won't try, you'll do it. Gina said, I love Pinterest. Yeah, me too. Okay, so I guess that's that. We went an entire hour. And, maybe we'll talk about doing one of those. I'll put it out there and see if you guys are interested in doing that. And maybe we'll do like a girls' night, kind of, almost like a vision board, but we'll do it like a Pinterest thing and someplace for us to go to every time we need a kick in the pants to get back that vision that we had of what we wanted when we got started. Deborah said, you helped me stay motivated with TTU, daily declutter Zoom, and these coffee talks changed my life. God bless you, darling girl. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. Gina said, creating our TTU boards. Joe said, I love this, Kathy. Thank you so much. I feel inspired, and I do think you were inspired to say everything you said today. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go now, and just for anybody here that is going to be on the 2 o'clock call, I'll be there. But tomorrow's my birthday, so I think tomorrow I'm going to do 15 minutes. Okay. So if you intend to be on the call, be on time, because it's going to end probably early. I mean, if nothing's going on, then I will stay longer, but I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so, so much. I hope you know how much I appreciate you. And I'll see you on all the places that we see each other. Okay. Bye.